Okay, guys, welcome back to another day of Bitcoin update. We have us a guest today. Dion's here with us to kind of give us his outlook as well. So, just want to go over the disclaimer again that this is not financial advice. So, please do your due diligence before you guys make any decisions based on this information. So, let's go ahead and move forward here today. Again, we're still kind of playing around in that zone that we spoke about yesterday. Um, that 6,500 to that 6,200 area range is kind of where we've been hanging out. We've had a few fake outs up, a few fake outs down, but it doesn't seem like we're making much headway here. So that's kind of the idea I see behind it. We are kind of still messing with the 150 MA on the 4-hour chart. Looks to be kind of playing as like a resistance and support here. Kind of bouncing back and forth. I mean, we really just don't see much movement going on still. My overall idea is I still think we're going down. In the little longer to short to midterm. But that's kind of what I had. I mean, I could jump back to the daily real quick here and show you guys that our fibs here are still, we're still messing around in that same zone. It looks like it erased off of my chart. Let me add that back real quick here. And let's see. So yeah, I mean, we're still bouncing at that 0.362 level. We have, on the daily chart anyway, we haven't made any type of move towards the dead cat level even. So it seems that we're just kind of staying sideways. This is painting a pretty decent bear flag to me. I definitely feel like we're gonna fall. I mean, what's your thoughts on that, Dion? Are you thinking that we're, it's not showing me any strength to pop? I mean, what are you thinking?
Basically, we're in a consolidation at this stage. That means it's a very lengthy consolidation. And usually that means the move is going to be quite severe once it breaks out. We've already seen 2 days ago, there was quite a big move up to 7148, I think, on BitMEX. That basically means that the 200 MA, Michael, you got my chart in there or not?
Yeah, I got your chart up.
Basically, the 200 MA there was basically tested, but it wasn't traded. During that time, BitMEX was offline, so I basically anticipated a move up to the 200 MA there on all exchanges. So that didn't happen yet. So I still expect to move up to the 200 MA and then back down, almost like a wash of all the longs, because the longs are, the market is very saturated with longs at this stage.
Yeah, we've jumped back
and
to.
Someone need to be washed a bit before we can go down.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely a possibility as well. We're looking at Dion's chart right now, and I felt the same way. I mean, I really thought we should go up and test that 200 MA too. The one thing that scares me, that like we talked about yesterday, you weren't here, Dion, but yesterday we were talking about how manipulated, the squeeze was that happened on BitMEX.
Yes.
With BitMEX going down and, the price on BitMEX going basically to 7,200. It was a little less than that, 71. I mean, I can tell you exactly what it was. 7,150 basically is where it went to.
Yeah.
And it created a really long upper shadow here on the daily chart for BitMEX. And it also it's not, and it also put a pretty long upper shadow on the Coinbase chart as well. On the daily chart, I mean, for me, I think that most candle-based TA works better on the larger time frames. Um, and when I see a large upper shadow on the daily, like I did there, it just, to me, it seems bearish, and that it doesn't want to go anywhere. But you're right. I mean, when you look on the Coinbase chart, we went right to that. Let me see. I'm looking at the Coinbase chart
Yeah,
now.
but still, it's like 900, 800 roundabout. For most 800, and I think some of them went to, I think Binance went to 900.
Okay. Yeah.
And so it's almost like that 900 to 200 doesn't exist actually. It was, the market was closed on BitMEX anyway. It didn't trade there. So although we see a spike there, I don't feel it's relevant. Even on my investing.com chart here, this is a BitMEX chart actually. It doesn't show there. You can see it actually stops there right at 800.
Right. Is this?
It's almost like a ghost gap that we have there that didn't trade.
Right. Is that the 4-hour? Yeah, that's the 4-hour chart.
That's a 4-hour. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, so I'm gonna switch back to my chart real quick. Let me see here. So when we come back to my chart, you can see it, right, Dion?
No, I can't.
Oh, that's right. You can't see it. Okay.
It's okay.
Well, anyway, when you go on mine, on the daily chart I have for Coinbase, I'm on the Coinbase chart for the 1 day, and it bounced right off the 50-day moving average. It didn't quite make it to the 100-day average at all. On the 1 day chart, it did bounce right off of the bottom of cloud support or cloud resistance, which is basically right where the 50 MA is at. So it's hard to tell, and that's kind of, I guess, what the question or the whole thing comes down to is it's kind of sketchy. It's kind of difficult to tell where it's going to go, because was that the short squeeze? Did they make that the short squeeze and do it completely manipulated? And now we just going to fall, or are we going to actually go and get a true test of that area, I guess, is the $1 million question.
Yes.
So I personally believe, I think that we're going to go down. But, like you said, I mean, that is definitely a possibility to go back up and test those MAs. It's just really hard to tell what's gonna end up happening.
Yeah. It's almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite impossible. So, that's kind of our idea. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to your screen if you want to go over some things that you looked at. Yeah, there. I got you back up there, Dion.
Okay, so this is my 1 hour chart. It's a bit messed up here though. For some reason the flips doesn't show, but I've drawn them in here. So typically what you will get in a situation like this where there's a big spike down, is typically it would retrace 50% to 61%. Now I've drawn in a little red box here. I call that the ambush box. And typically in a big move like that, it will retrace back to 50 to 61%. That's typically where bears would ambush the bulls if they try to penetrate the ambush box. Now we can see that didn't happen yet. So I can see a little move up to at least around about 6,500. Between 6,500 and to 6,600. So in that region, I expect quite a big pullback if it gets there. It could also just drop down from here. That's difficult to say. That's just usually what happens. It will go to the ambush box and then get a kickback by the bears. So there's a fairly strong resistance here at the bottom here at around about 6,240. Very important support. So once that goes, I think we're going to go down to at least 600 and maybe below. You can see there that the 50 MA. Let's check here. I think this is the 50. Yeah. 50 MA is at this stage resistance on 1 hour. You can see how price tests it and pulls back, pull back, especially here in that region here. That we call distribution bars. That means as soon as the test is getting sold off, and usually after the fourth or fifth bar, it will drop down. So there's a chance that it will actually just drop down from here. We'll have to see. It could drop down to 240 and then all the way back. That's what we don't know. We don't know whether it's going to range. It's actually, in my opinion, that it might range for another few days, actually. That we're not going to see a big drop until maybe after the weekend. And typically Saturdays are very bullish with the Asians. So it might be that we're going to carry on ranging until Sunday, Monday. We'll have to see. I agree. And the fall is going to be so much, it's going to be so much deeper the longer it carries on like this. So essentially, this is just a big distribution, in my opinion. It's just a distribution of people entering for shorting, taking up and down, washing the market all the time. And when it breaks, it's going to be quite a violent break, in my opinion. No, I can't see it. I'm looking at mine, so I will just follow you. Did you send it? Okay. Mm-hmm. I agree. Definitely, in the medium term, it's definitely going to fall. I have no doubt about it. It's going to fall. But while everybody's thinking it's going to fall, what do? They squeeze the crap out of the out of the longs, So that's just something you need to be careful of.
Don't go long. The shorter bounces, shorter bounces. Yeah. Yes, quite a few. Yeah. Mm. Yes. Basically, I've got a sort of a conspiracy theory going around this. Obviously, the institutions want to, they want money to flow to them, not away from them. So to get them to optimize the amount of money flowing to them, they need to minimize other alts. Basically suppress them or kill them off as many as possible as they can. So it's in their interest to basically to let this bear keep on going until it does vanish. Basically, the more the better for them. So they will delay as far as they can. And basically, when this bear ends, they want people to invest in ETF, not to directly invest in coins. That will obviously be their game plan. So it's very difficult to know, to basically to understand exactly what their next move is going to be. They would definitely take it down more, I think, because eventually when the ETF launches, they want BTC to be at a low, not in the middle of nowhere. They want it to be as low as possible. So when they start investing with their funds into the ETFs, that they basically get a head start. So I think it's all delaying and game playing to get BTC down lower. Hmm. Exactly. Yes, I hear you.
Okay, sorry guys, you're right. I just seen that I was muted there. Sorry, Mark. But so anyway, basically the futures. So I'll just go back over that real quick. One of the main reasons why these have been denied is because of the fact that there's no regulation, or there's no team that's really working on keeping the manipulation down. None of these every exchange, according to the SEC, has failed to establish the means to prevent it. So if that's the case, then we're probably not, it's not looking good for any of these other ETFs as well. Now, for the CBOE one, on the other hand, which I was just speaking about, they actually have, they came out. I mean, it's kind of funny how this all falls into place, but the CBOE, even they expected their ETF decision to be delayed. But all in the same week, they're getting delayed, and not only are they getting delayed, but they're also talking about launching, the first regulated cryptocurrency exchange in the U.S. and all this stuff in September. Mm-hmm. So it's funny that the decision gets pushed out till September, and in September as well, we're going to be opening up the regulated exchange to basically fight some of these issues here that keep coming up on these denials. The reason why they're being denied. So I still believe that the CBOE has the best chance at it. I think that eventually we will get that one taken care of sometime towards the end of the year, early 2019. I mean, what's your thoughts?
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I think there's a very good chance that we would see the first ETF early 2019 only.
Yeah, because I think that the SEC can, I'm pretty sure anyway, that they have at least one more chance to delay the CBOEs, right? I think so. I think they've got one more delay if they wanted to, if they wanted to push it out past September.
There's no reason they won't give some other excuse. There's always a reason.
Right.
If they don't want to push it, they won't. And in my opinion, they take the cue from the big institutions. It's not a decision isolated to the SEC. They're taking the cue from the institutions. So if the institutions say we're not ready, they won't launch. No, that's my opinion.
Right.
So yeah. We will have to see what it comes down to.
Right, and if you really think about it, the more we pay attention to this, it kind of seems like it's all playing out just like we just said, is that we're going from this nice little run up to the 8.5 area, basically 90% based on ETF news. Everybody in there, 90% of people thought for sure that this was going to get approved, or that the CBOE definitely had the best chance. So we've seen a really good run up, which you could even be really consider a short squeeze at the time as well. They just, people are starting to figure the game out. They're actually learning how to short the top and long the bottom.
Correct.
So when we fell from 85, That was right after the denial, or not denial, but the delay. So we get pushed down. And like we keep saying, or like you keep saying, the institutional investors, they want in, but they don't want in at 6K. They don't want in at
Yes.
8K. They want in at 5K or 4K. And the denials keep happening. And I mean, according to the daily chart, I mean, when you really break out the daily and you look at it, you know, with the descending triangle and kind of go a little bit more long term with it, you know, the chances of us going to the 5.5 to 4.3 area just look better every day. You know, with the news and everything that's going on, I just feel that our next stop is 5.5. And, you know, if we can, they're probably going to try and push it down farther. The one thing that does kind of have me worried a little bit is I think that once we break the 5.7, 5.6 area and we start to fall more, we may see a massive sell-off. We may see some panic sell. And if we get that, if people decide to panic it out really badly, there's a really strong chance that we might fall a lot farther. It may not be. It'll be fast. I think it'll be like a long wick, maybe a 1 day thing.
Yes.
But it's going to fall, and it's going to fall fast. I think that there's still a lot of longs that I mean, you know, we've been talking about how over leveraged the shorts are, but really think about how many longs are under 5.8 that haven't been touched in a while.
Exactly.
People that are just holding and, you know, thinking that 6K will never break, or 5.8 won't break. There's a lot of longs down there too. And that's why, you know, it really could go either way. I mean, if you look at the daily, it's not really showing us much of a up movement or not. I mean, it's literally sideways. It's like one day you close at 66, the next day you close at 62, the next day you close up towards 66, the next day you close down towards 62. I mean, it's literally sideways. As sideways as it gets.
On an opinion, if we break 5.8, I think we're going to get a serious capitulation. You're going to hit a lot of long stops there. So this thing is just going to drop down, flash crash down to whichever level. We don't know where. I don't think it should go less than 3.5. But I got targets. I'll show it on a chart next time. I don't have the chart here now.
I can put your chart up. Your chart's up now.
The wedge on the daily, it's got the bottom of that wedge, or descending triangle, depends how you look at it, is around 5.2K at this stage.
Yeah, I put your chart up. I put your chart back up if you want to show it.
Yeah, that 5.2K is basically the technical low at the bottom of the wedge. It's supposed to bounce from there. And the wedge is a bullish wedge, so it should not break down, but there's no reason why it can't spike down, pierce through that thing, and drop down with a flash crash and come back within 1 day.
Yeah.
And I think that's a real possibility as those stops trigger.
Yeah, I've got the G wave ending somewhere around 5.5 to 5.3 at the moment. Like I said, as it keeps going, if we keep on moving here, and we stay sideways for a little while longer, then I mean we could easily go down to the 5.3 to 5K range, or maybe even down to 4.5.
Yeah. On it's a little bit lower on BitMEX. It's around about 5K in BitMEX, bottom of the wedge, if it happens within the next 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
And then we shouldn't forget this. Did you have my chart on there?
Yeah, your chart is up.
Here's the Hitchens soldiers going up here. Now, if that's in breaks, it targets 3,500. that's the technical target for this pattern. So that's a distinct possibility that we could hit 3.5K.
Right. Yeah, and this head
But
and
I think it'll be
shoulders.
quick.
Go ahead.
It will be quick and violent, because there's another thing. The miners doesn't make money below 5K. So mining operations basically start to basically wind down, and it will only be the big pool miners that will still mine Bitcoin below 5K. So basically, Bitcoin starts to die below 5K, so it can't stay there long. And we know it's not going to die, so I think it will be very quick.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that head and shoulders on the daily, even without a jump back to 7K, to confirm it, I mean, you really don't need to go back to 6,800. So I mean, I mean, again, it really is just a guessing game. It's hard to tell where it's going to go. But overall, I think that if you're trying to make a decision on what you want to do, I think laddering in some shorts is probably the safest bet, because betting on it going long and going long big is probably not a very smart idea.
Yes. I would not go long for the medium term. I won't go long in this. I would scalp long, but I won't plan to take a long term or a medium term long position.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
No, yeah, me neither. All right, well, I think that kind of covers the ideas of what we see going on as of right now. I mean, is there any questions any of you guys want to ask? Go ahead and ask them in the chat, so we can go ahead and answer them. If not, we will go on about our day and see where we can see where this gets us to. You guys also can thank Dion for being here today with us. That's awesome that we're, I want to try and do some more of these collaborations with more people, just to kind of get everybody's point of view, get a couple of different looks at what we're looking at. I think it's just beneficial for everybody. So make sure to thank Dion if you get a chance, in the chat or on here or in Telegram. Please thank him for being here today. And I don't see any of you guys popping up any questions here. So if you do have any, go ahead and type them in and we'll get to them before we close this out. I'll let you know if I see any in here, Dion.
Sorry?
Oh, I was just saying I'll let you know if I see any questions pop up in the box here. Let me see. It doesn't seem that we're having too many people, too many write-outs here. I don't see any questions there. So, anyway, well, I guess we will go ahead and end the call for the day then, guys. So there you go. You guys kind of got our ideas there. So let us know what you think. You guys can talk with us on Telegram, and we will go from there. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Cheers, guys.